Yo, it is Mondays. Y'all had a week break from us because you got us 3 times last Saturday and Sunday. But guess what? We back in the building, baby. It's your boy Cool McCain. I'm joined always by my co-host, the one and the only Playmaker. Playmaker, what's up, man?
How y'all good people doing? I had a week off, Ain't talking to wrestling, But you know what? Speaking of which, since we had a week off, which means my co-host had a week to digest everything that he took in. So
Absolutely.
now that you're not a prisoner of the moment, as they'll like to say, what is your final thoughts of WrestleMania 40?
WrestleMania 40 was written by me. You hear me? With one, no, I'm just kidding. But WrestleMania 40 went as I expected it to for the most part. Clearly, no one thought that Sami Zayne was going to win that match. If you were not his wife, son, family member, and you say you thought he was going to win that match, I call cap on you. I don't believe it. But I will say, all jokes aside, it was a really good 2 days. Obviously, night 2 is always better than night 1. So if you're somebody that's deciding if you're gonna go to one night and maybe Raw, make it night 2. Don't ever go to night 1. Night 1 will give you one good match, right? And it was the opening match this night 1. But night 2, that's where the heat at. Also, a lot of great execution. So it's not just sometimes the outcome, it's the execution. One of the things that I think a lot of people complain about is everybody may not give you all the execution, even when you kind of know the result. Even though we knew the result when Cody got the pin, when the 1, 2, 3 hit, it was still different because you expected it, kind of, you hoped, but then you actually saw it happen. You saw the interference. You saw them lose night 1. They built good stories for a lot of the matches. But as I promised y'all, Jey Uso had no business reducing his character to fight Jimmy. That was a trash match. And thankfully for me, bathroom, snack refill, drink refill, stuff like that. But if I had to sit there and watch that whole match, I would be mad. I told you I wasn't going to watch it. Thankfully, I came in near the end of it. But not a good match. But all in all, I think everything else was pretty solid or really good or great. So, I mean, what they've been saying all week, the Paul Levesque era is here. I'm liking it so far. I'm liking it. What about you, sir?
Everything they said WrestleMania is supposed to be, it was exactly what it was. First and foremost, I got to give a shout out. You talked about Cody Rhodes. Got to give Seth Rollins his flowers. He said one line, and he was that one line. He told Cody he would be his shield, and guess what Seth Rollins was? Literally his shield. The shield music, the shield gear, and just all that with Roman Reigns with a chair. Roman Reigns, y'all had to realize, Roman Reigns had a chair in his hand. He could literally make the decision to keep on the reign as tribal chief. And like we're going to get into when we talk about what Paul Heyman said, he saw 10 years of payback on the other side. 10 years of something that he did not want to happen, and he went for it. He let 10 years of frustration go, and Cody Rhodes is the WWE Undisputed Champion. What can I say? It is what it is. But WrestleMania, the Paul Levesque era, as most people are starting to call it, even though Triple H don't want to call it that, it's off to a very, very good start. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I turn it back to my co-host, we gonna do things a little differently. than we usually do. But first order of business, my co-host is going to get to his TNA people because we have a PLE or pay-per-view, depending on how they want to call it, coming up for Total Impact Wrestling. Now he's on mute. Get off mute, man.
Total non-stop action, sir. TNA, total non-stop action. What up, Wise? What up, Wise? All right, and then BS3 in the morning shift with Cole Johnson. Cole, what up? He says he got revenge, but lost the #1 prize in all of sports. Roman Reigns stars in. Now the story really begins. Oh, and Cole also says, good evening, gentlemen. Oh, yeah. So we're going to definitely talk about Raw and SmackDown and some points from those. But we hit y'all with some previews here because we got TNA Rebellion. Right? So we're going to start with the main event and we're going to play. So your main event for that show was going to be TNA World Championship match. Moose, the champion. My boy Moose against Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler. I fully expect Moose to continue his reign, but it's going to be some shenanigans for that to happen because that's just a team championship match. Other members of the system, Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards, are going to face off against the duo of Speedball Mountain. This is Mike Bayley and Trent Seven. So if you're thinking maybe I remember the name Trent Seven, if you watch NXT UK or NXT, along with Tyler Bate, he was the other half of Mustache Mountain. So he seems like be in tag teams with Mountain in it. I'm not asking any questions. Just give me the info. Alicia Edwards will be at ringside. I got the system with the sweep. I got the system keeping the World Tag Team Champions. Any thoughts from you on those two, sir?
No. I'm wrong with you on that.
I know you got a thought on this match, I believe. So we got the TNA Knockouts World Championship match. We got the Juggernaut Jordan Grace versus Steph DeLander with Matt Cardona. Steph DeLander can have Matt Cardona, Matt McConaughey, Matt whoever else she wants. She's going down to the Juggernaut. That's what it is. I don't know who they're going to get to beat Jordan Grace, but it's not Steph DeLander. All right. X Division Championship. Mustafa Ali versus Jake something. So it's interesting to me. I've read a lot of reports that Mustafa Ali does not have an actual contract and he's doing like a handshake agreement deal. And they still put the X Division Championship on him. So what that tells me is it's going to take something special for this man to lose. And I don't think Jake something is that something special. So I'm going to go with Mustafa Ali also retaining his championship. Then we got Josh Alexander, and he's just being called Hammerstone here, but it's Alexander Hammerstone in a last man standing match. Hammerstone reminds me of a young Brock Lesnar who's just out there to be the beast. Didn't really have to win, but is just going to beat down the opponent, but probably lose this match to Josh Alexander, who's on his quest to regain the championship he never lost. So I'm going to go with Josh Alexander winning the match. Then we got Full Metal Mayhem, Eric Young versus Frankie Kazarian. One bad guy's got to win here, so I'm going to go with Frankie Kazarian winning this match. It doesn't really do much for either guy, whoever wins. Then we got Rick Swan, which he's now called Rich Homie Swan, with AJ Francis, who was given a not nice nickname, but we're not going to go into it now. But you guys, that was terrible. I just want to say that. And everybody who knows. They should beat Joe Hendry because it's going to be basically a 2-on-1 match. AJ Francis is going to interfere.
$12.
Then we got World Tag Team Championship match for the women. Spitfire versus Decay. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Decay because I know a little bit more than Spitfire. That's on the pre-show, as well as we got a match: Myron Reed, Trey Miguel, and Zachary Wentz against ABC Austin, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and then Leon Slater. I'll probably say the Rascals will win it just because they seem to be getting a little bit more of a push at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if ABC wins either. So, you know, a lot of storyline in this pay-per-view or PLE, depending on what they call in TNA. But before we move on, sir, any thoughts on the TNA card?
I gotta give TNA they do, and don't worry, give them their word because we're gonna go right into AEW, and I think we're gonna switch it up. I want my man to go through the Dynasty card first, and then we get into the situation because Dynasty is huge now, and not for good reasons.
Cole says ABC ain't EBS 1, 2, 3 in TNA. He says no hit row. Now hit row. It's terrible.
Goddamn. Cool.
And Ash by Elegance still sucks. As the one guy that bonded us all together would say, find the lie. I can't find one. So we're gonna head right over to a question about AEW. Then we're gonna talk about Dynasty. So quick question about AEW. And this was something that my co-hosts wanted to discuss. So
that's why I want you to go through the card first because we're gonna talk about how important this upcoming event really is.
Fair enough.
Because of what took place.
We'll talk. We'll go through the card. That's cool. I got you. All right. So AEW Dynasty. So we have the AEW World Championship, Samoa Joe versus Swerve Strickland. Oh, no. We're gonna start at the bottom on this one. So that's the championship match. We're gonna start at the bottom on this one.
That's the main event.
So that's the main one. So Okada is putting up his Continental Championship against Pac. That's probably gonna open the show. AEW has too many belts. They have to figure out what to do about this. I like the concept of the Continental Championship, but you have too many belts. So anything that's not like your top belts kind of gets lost in this championship ooze in my mind. Then another one of those matches. So we've got Roderick Strong, who has the I'm trying to think what they call that belt.
Is that the Intercontinental title?
It's whatever. It's whatever they. It's something like that. But Strong and Kyle O'Reilly, they turned on Kyle O'Reilly, which of course we knew they were going to do.
Oh, come on.
So Kyle O'Reilly is going to be having a match against Roger Strong for it's the belt that Orange Cassidy held forever.
International Championship.
There's so many championships, man. It's hard to keep up. But yeah, international championship. And our ironic part is, y'all that know me know I just did that purposely, just so y'all can understand how many championships there are and how hard it is, like, to really keep up with all these championships. All right, and then so for those two matches, man, I'll be completely honest with you, man. Both of those champions should retain. I mean, we're probably going to get some type of match added to this between some iteration of the Acclaimed and the Bang Bang Gang Bullet Club Gold. They haven't officially announced one yet, but they probably will. But on the main card so far, also we have Adam Copeland, Mark Briscoe, and Eddie Kingston versus House of Black. They made this match a few weeks ago. I don't see a reason for the House of Black to lose this match because they're the dominant group here. They'll also have Julia Hart, so that'll make a difference. But I don't see them losing this match. If they do, I'll be really surprised. Now,
will they have Julia
probably,
Hart? Will they have Julia Hart?
Yeah. She'll be in the corner.
Well, even though she has, I'm just saying, depending on the match.
Well, even though she also has a match, she still comes out with them. She'll come out with them because the house always wins.
Well, you
unless they try to do something different. Normally, even if she has a match on the card, like a championship match or a match on the card,
she do. That's why
I know she still comes out with the House of Black. Is what I'm saying. Even if she's wrestling on the same card.
Okay.
That's what they've done with her. Now, if they try to change it, cool. But she's always come out, even if she wrestles on the same show.
Gotcha.
All right, then we have Bryan Danielson versus Will Ospreay, and what I think will be the match of the night. Like, there's other matches, I get it, but I feel like this is the match of the night. Bryan Danielson, Will Ospreay. So a lot of people talk a lot of smack about AEW, how they don't build up matches. Now, they've only built up this match for 3 or 4 weeks, but they've leaned into something very important in that build-up. They've talked about how a lot of people see Will Ospreay as the best pro wrestler in the world, right? But in order for him to rightfully claim that title, he has to beat the guy that's pretty much has that title, which is Bryan Danielson. So this could be like a passing the torch match. This could be a match that, if done right, can help Bryan Danielson, because this is his last year. He will be retiring after this year, pro wrestling. And Will Ospreay, like, this could be kind of like a passing of the torch moment where you see a guy that's been the best or considered at least one of the best wrestlers in the world pass that torch to Will Ospreay. If it's done right, this could be an amazing match. If it's done wrong, it'll still be a good match, but we won't get the story aspect. I think they're going to tell a story with this match. When they normally do a match like this and there's no championship or anything involved, this is normally when Tony Khan eases off of the nose candy or passes this over to someone else to produce and doesn't have a hand in it. But that's what it seems like. So then we have the TBS. Oh, did you have any thoughts on Danielson and Will Ospreay? Because like I said, that's going to be a game changer.
I'll be getting the Will Ospreay in a minute.
You probably have something else you want to talk about Will Ospreay.
Where Ospreay should win. It should, like you said, pass on the choice. And shout out to Jew, really agreeing with you. It should be a pass on the choice match. So you even got you on your side.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Drew says, what's up, fellas? What's up, D. Willie? Sir Toba Media in the building. So I feel like it will be a passing of the torch match as well. Cole says, Ospreay is allergic to WWE. That's what Playmaker wants to say. And D. Willie says, thanks, fellas.
We'll get to that. We got more cards. We got more cards on this match.
Yeah, it's going to be. I have some interesting comments for that. Well, let's go back to the card here. So then we have the aforementioned TBS Championship, Julia Hart versus Willow Nightingale. I think it's still too early in her reign for her to lose. And this has been like a.
This is where I come in.
Go ahead, sir.
Here is a problem. Okay. It could be a good problem, could be a bad problem, but it's a problem nonetheless, okay? So, this is the first championship match Will Nightingale has gotten, right?
Yes.
The first one, right?
In AEW. She had a championship with New Japan before. But
no, I'm talking about AEW.
Yes, sir. If I remember correctly.
Somebody said they were going to be paying attention to a certain match. And whoever won that match, she won next. And then for some reason, somebody took her out. And we don't know who did it because the freaking lights went out and then came on. And, my girl was laying on the floor. So what kind of shenanigans is going on here in the women's division of AEW? because that TBS championship seems to be very more popular than the women's championship.
Well, I'll give you. I can't. I got to put this one up there. You talking about the bankrupt CEO playmaker? Cole says. My answer to your question, sir. I know it's probably more rhetorical. I'm gonna answer anyway. I think they understand. Toni Storm reigns the women's division in AEW. So if you step into Toni, you're probably not going to win for a while. The belt that's easier to win right now is the TBS Championship. Julia Hart is easier to beat than Toni Storm. So I think that's why you have people kind of going after that. And also for someone like Mercedes Moné, you just coming into the company, it wouldn't make sense for you to go challenge for the AEW Championship right off the bat. Because while there were a lot of people that were behind Mercedes Moné night one, her first night there, that wasn't her hometown. Now that she's kind of on the road as much, we're not getting as many CEO chants. That whole thing, which I said was really whack, I think people are starting to agree, and they're going to have to do some type of change. The biggest thing you need to do right now with the whole Mercedes Moné thing, and this is off on a tangent, but I'm a tangent guy. That's what I do. Playmaker would kick me off if he didn't like tangents because I go on them. But the thing with Mercedes Moné, she got to have a real song. She can't just come out CEO, and twerk and do this. Like, we got to have a song. So you got to give her a real song, a solid one for her. And but that's the thing. Like, Toni Storm is right now portrayed above most of the women on this roster. So if you go after Toni Storm, you're taking an L. But if you go after Julia Hart, you at least have an opportunity because she's young. She hasn't had as many matches, so she's the one that you would target, and that's what we're seeing happen.
All right.
Cole says, I agree. Toni Storm right now is the best gimmick AEW has ever produced. She needs to still roll with the AEW women's title. And then he says, and then what is Mercedes tweaking with? It's like a brown broom moving. I'm going to say this. If we're talking about cakes from the people I mentioned in the last conversation, Mercedes Moné is not going to be included. Toni Storm is with the cakes, part of the cake army, definitely. Those English cakes. But definitely not Mercedes. That's not her thing. That's why this gimmick's a little weird too, because it's like you got the lady with the least amount of cakeage, you know, the less curvaceous of your ladies, and you're basically saying this is who's going to be twerking. Drew says the cake army, and then he has several laughing emojis. Hey, Drew, it evolves. It takes on a stratosphere of its own.
AEW Women's Championship, Timeless Toni Storm going against Thunder Rosa. Obviously, if you paying attention, you know who cool is. So.
Yeah, I will say Thunder Rosa also belongs in the cakes. You have to include Thunder Rosa in the cakes, definitely. Willow Nightingale definitely in the cakes. But yeah, Julia Hart, I think will retain as well as Toni Storm. Young Bucks versus FTR in the ladder match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. This is the best example of long-term storytelling that they have here in AEW right now. The Young Bucks and FTR, they had a match early on in their career talking about who was the better tag team. FTR won. Young Bucks won with FTR. The tag team belts. So now we've got them rematching up. The Young Bucks are these doofy, wannabe like tough guys or whatever. This whole gimmick that they have right now is completely garbage, and I believe they came up with it themselves, and that's why it's garbage. It's a ladder match. I honestly don't care who wins, but I think FTR will win because it makes more sense. But I really don't care who wins. It didn't put together a match to make me care about the tag team championships right now.
Oh, I know there's only one match you actually really care about. It's only one match. And that is the AEW World Championship. The Great Samoa Joe taking on Swerve when he drives, Strickland. Is this the moment? Is Saturday the moment? Or is it Sunday? Well, is this weekend the moment? Put it like that. The fact that you struggling says a lot. That says a lot. The fact that you struggling.
So
you was not struggling like this when you was on the Cody Rhodes train.
If you haven't noticed, Playmaker, there's a few differences between Swerve Strickland and Cody Rhodes. That's the difference.
You was on that train and you was not getting off.
No, because at worst case, Cody had a 50-50 chance to win. I don't know the real opportunity my man Strickland got, right? Swerve is hot right now. But I don't know how much of an actual opportunity he has to really win. Now, he's mentioned some things, and I want people to think about this. He will be the first black AEW champion. Obviously, AEW ain't been around 30 years and whatever. But it's hard a lot of times when you want to become that guy. It can be hard. And the problem is Samoa Joe, right? If you gave me anybody else, I would probably say Swerve should win this match without a doubt. But Samoa Joe, he's big to that locker room too. It's a lot of like, besides the match itself, it's a lot of things behind the scenes that make me be like, I don't quite know. I don't know. I'm a Swerve because Swerve's my guy. I want to swerve when I drive. I want big pressure, but I'm not sure. I'm not as confident because backstage, Tony Khan and all that nose candy and everything. It's hard to, it's more harder to read what they're going to do here. And one of the reasons is what we're going to talk about next. That's one of the reasons. A couple of comments, and then I know what you want to get to. So D. Willie also says cakeage and laughs. And he says levels up and laughs. Cole says Mercedes is a 33-year-old woman trapped inside a 10-year-old girl's body. No, sir. That, sir. That's different. I can't disagree, but it's different. Damien says, funny how Monet got sneak attacked, but she still looked like nothing happened. I mean, if you were attacked, wouldn't you be tore up with messed up hair and tore clothes? She just looked like she was, and then his other comment, tossed to the floor. So the thing is, Damien, if you look at like Dragon Lee, you look at a lot of people that got jumped lately, they're kind of doing a thing where they don't look like they got really hurt anymore. They just look like they got jumped real quick. Wise hits us with the 8-piece cakes. Basically, cake. I'm always for that, sir. That's a constant comment in my life. I love it. Cole says Joe is going strong, but I believe they're going to have to pull the trigger and have Swerve run with the title unless they're waiting until Double or Nothing. That's my thing. Swerve is going to win. I just don't know if it's going to be yet. You feel me? And then Cole also says Perazo. Sorry, I missed one of his comments. I apologize, Cole. He says, Tony Storm, I dig those cakes. My question about the AEW Women's title is, are they going to pull the trigger to turn Deonna Purrazzo heel now or at a big pay-per-view? They've got to do it because she's a much better heel, but Purrazzo also has cake, so I don't want to leave her out of the cake, the major cake conversation. He says the Blow King better stay out of the Swerve Joe. Cole also says that. And then Damien says Swerve needs to go back to WWE if he doesn't win the title.
So it's like you ain't the only one that's on that Swerve when I drive train.
But I've been driving that train for a while. Some people just sliding into the back. I'm at the front. I'm conducting the train.
And then you conduct the train is kind of rumbling now because you like I don't know.
Hey, it's gonna happen. Let's be clear, it's gonna happen. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm saying I don't know if it's gonna happen now, or if it's gonna be like Cole was saying at a big thing like Double or Nothing. So it's hard to say, oh, Joe gonna lose, because Joe is killing it right now, and you got to realize Joe is just not on the camera. Joe's also what he does as a locker room leader and how much everybody love him behind the camera. So unless he go with the Tony Khan, tell Tony to put the candy down for a minute and say, look, man, we need to put the belt on Swerve now. That's what makes most sense, which I'm not saying Joe wouldn't do. But unless he does that, I don't know if Joe is going to win. I mean, if Joe's going to lose it on Saturday or Sunday, whichever day this one is, because one's on Saturday, one's on Sunday.
Now, my co-host here has to have a very difficult conversation with AEW. Because this week past could arguably be called their worst week as a company. What in the world was they thinking? Please, somebody tell me what was they thinking. Like, wait a minute. Okay, let me start with the light stuff first. Okay, Will Ospreay's felt some type of way by Triple H's comments about people didn't want to do the workload and they get paid more money. And Triple H didn't throw no names out there, but if you want to assume he was talking about Will Ospreay, you're free to assume he was talking about Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay felt like he was talking about him. So he decided to use dynamite to fire back at Triple H. And my girl Renee felt uncomfortable about it. Two, it was not received very well by the wrestling community. So we're going to start there, Cole. Will Ospreay's trying to fire shots at Triple H.
So I'm gonna say this, bruv. What part of Will's Ospreay conversation did he lie, bruv? Did he lie, bruv? No lies back. I'll say this: when you take veiled shots, you may or may not have been talking about the person, but I do feel like from what he said, he was definitely talking about Will Ospreay, because they asked about, some people not coming and going somewhere else. And they specifically were talking about Mercedes Moné and Will Ospreay. Clearly, that's who they were talking about. Like, they didn't say the names, but clearly that's who they were talking about. Because it wasn't like it was a group of 40 people who they tried to sign who were big-time names that didn't come to WWE. There were two. And basically, with one, he was saying, it might not have been the right time. So I feel like when that was said, and I'm paraphrasing, of course, he was talking about Mercedes Moné, because she'll be back in WWE. She's going to be back. They know that. But when they were saying like the schedule and stuff like that, I do feel like he was talking about Will Ospreay. That's why I felt that's the first person that came to my mind when I heard the comments. And this is in the middle of me adulating Triple H for what he did with WrestleMania, right? But I feel like he was talking about Will Ospreay. So my thing is, man, if you're going to come for certain guys, don't give a crap where he worked. It's probably in his contract that if somebody come for him, he could say whatever he wants to somebody from any company. And face the facts. Triple H got where he at from hunching the boss's daughter. He did. That's what got him where he at. If he wasn't hunching the boss's daughter, right now he probably wouldn't be the guy in charge. We wouldn't be talking about a Triple H era. So there wasn't any lies told.
And yeah, you might be going off on WWE instead.
Just saying.
But fans didn't like it whatsoever. Like
some fans didn't like it.
As a majority didn't like it, but like that.
There's more that liked it than I think initially made in public, because the initial thing was everybody was, they should spend time worrying about them than worrying about the WWE. But the WWE should spend more time worried about the WWE than worried about them then too, right? So if the WWE,
they asked him a question, he answered a question. Like, which one?
So they asked him a question. the way he answered the question, he could have said, great talent. Everybody doesn't come to WWE. And he could have moved on. He didn't have to answer the way he answered. So for all of you, including my co-hosts, that want to make an excuse for WWE or for Paul Levesque, no, he said what he said. He was taking veiled shot, and Will Ospreay decided, because he is a loose cannon, that he was going to respond. And I don't have a problem with that. And if you have a problem with that, then you need to go tell your boy Hunter to stop taking shots at other people then. Because if we're going to be in a world where people can take shots at you, then you have the ability to clap back. And that's all Will Ospreay did.
No, we're going to be looking at him. That's Matt. You said it's going to be match of the night. If it's anything less, that might be a problem for Ospreay.
Ospreay is always in contention for match of the night, sir. You could put him in the ring. Ospreay is another one of those guys you put him in the ring with a broomstick.
Oh, Lord.
And you're going to get a good match.
You just compared him to Shawn Michaels.
He's another one of those guys. He'll be flying over that broomstick. He'll be hitting that broomstick with moves. He can call the broomstick bruv a few times during the match. It'll be wild.
See, that was the light part of it.
You could put him in a... Just one other thing I'm going to say. You could put Will Ospreay in a match with Jimmy Uso and he'll make it a good match.
Who's taking shots now? That was the light part of it. Let's get to the main part. First question is, who in the blinking idea was it to release that video? Who idea was it?
That, sir, is the most stupid move I have ever seen. Now, that piece right there, clearly there's only one person that made that decision. And that was, we're going to just start calling him the Nose Candy Man. That's who did that, the Nose Candy Man. Ain't nobody else thought that was a good idea. Ain't nobody else want that.
So first of all, you decided to release the freaking video. Second of all, you used the Young Bucks. When at one point in time, we revered the Young Bucks as one of the greatest tag teams in wrestling.
A lot of people did.
Even though we still gonna say that, but it don't feel like it. And then you had them do that. And not only do that, what town they was in? I don't even know what town they was in. It don't even matter what town they was in. Because you know why? Because they chanted for somebody who's at WrestleMania.
For me, it's like what I just said about Will Ospreay. That's completely different for this. That felt like a Will Ospreay to Triple H statement, right? This felt like a Tony Khan trying to make CM Punk look bad, but you didn't. Nobody looked bad. And honestly, when I saw the video, I had to watch it a couple of times. Like, okay, it's supposed to be like this big brouhaha or whatever. I ain't see that. I just saw one guy getting one guy's face. Somebody said a few words. Another guy said a few words. They grabbed each other, maybe a couple of punches, an elbow or something. And then Samoa Joe broke it up pretty quickly. Then Tony Khan was scared for his life. If you didn't do all that nose candy, you wouldn't be scared every time something happens. That stuff is not good for your fear sense.
For those of you who don't know, CM Punk during WrestleMania week was on, I forgot to do his name podcast. He was on a podcast. The guy asked him about how him leaving AEW happened. Everything he said was on the video.
Yeah.
So one, you ain't even make Punk look like a liar. You made him look like telling the whole freaking truth.
And by the way, that wasn't a fireable offense, Tony Khan. Stop your mess. That was not a fireable offense. You just made yourself look bad. You made yourself look like an idiot. You're going to have to find a way to get people on screen. You need an on-screen authority figure. Not those silly young bucks, but you need on-screen authority figure, because you being an authority figure from now on dilutes the product even more, because everybody understands that you're on nose candy and you're making major decisions while you're being the candy man, and it's not good for business.
So why are you sitting here trying to do whatever crazy idea popped in your freaking head? about the video. CM Punk out here is costing Drew McIntyre championships, and everybody's loving it. And then they go to social media and be like, "Oh, Punk was telling the truth. Wow," which actually doesn't help Jack Perry not one bit at all.
Not at all.
Who is part of your company, by the way?
Theoretically.
Like, this is why I had my co-host go through the card first, because this card for this weekend, they need to deliver. Now, I'm not saying deliver like WrestleMania, because you can't. There's nothing that's going to deliver like WrestleMania, okay?
Facts.
But this card here needs to deliver because y'all had a bad week. That's just call it what it is. Y'all had a bad week. That was a terrible week for y'all. Hopefully, Dynamite Wednesday gets better. Maybe Rampage keeps the momentum going and then Dynasty finishes off. But man.
What they was trying to do was capitalize off the fact that they had some intellectual property featuring somebody that was going to be at WrestleMania. But what they actually did was not that at all. It should have never got out. It was a bad look. So we got some comments, guys. We're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to drop some comments, and then we're going to get into some WWE, and we're going to get real with it. Really, really, really real with it. Let's go.
Hey, Eagles fan. Join my man Cool McCain and a host of others as they break down every single game, every single week in an objective manner, and also from a fan's perspective as well. Remember, this cast feels just like you. Nobody likes you. And you don't care. Fly, Eagles, fly. Eagles Elite Podcast. Every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and other podcast outlets. Oh, yes. The tradition, the pageantry, the spectacle, the history, the slut. Wait. I gotta rep my brother's stuff right. All my DMV soldiers, stand up! And welcome to the Commander's Gridiron Report. You want your commanders to be repped right? Well, D. Willie is your man. Commander's Gridiron Report. Every Monday at 3:05 p.m. Eastern, 2:05 p.m. Central. Exclusively on the Sertoba Media YouTube channel. Join Ryan McCarthy.
I became a Jets fan because Kurt the Frog was my favorite Muppet because he was green. And the Jets wore green. That's how I became a Jets fan.
And Dustin Henry.
ESPN is cashing all in on let's pay a few personalities and we'll just kind of fill in the gaps.
As they walk you through all of the world of sports from their perspective.
The Albany Empire, it's a literal circus.
No credentials required. Where, Ryan, say the tag.
Where you don't need a press pass to talk sports.
Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. On YouTube and where you can find all podcasts. Rams fans all around the world.
It's a beautiful thing to be a Rams fan right now. Stafford's back. We're going to see about Cup. And running back Kerryon Williams to return.
Lend me your ears, or should I say lend Playmaker your ears, as he breaks down week by week everything in the Los Angeles Rams canon.
Number 99, Aaron Donald. Can't wait for 2029 to come to know that you are going in the Hall of Fame, and it should be first ballot, no questions asked.
Join the Playmaker as he breaks down everything Los Angeles Rams style in Ramily Talk on the Playmakers Blog Network YouTube channel and where you can find podcasts.
All right, Playmakers, so we back. One note on the commercials. Your boy hit the wrong commercial. Got to delete the old one. No credentials is Tuesday nights. So not Monday, but Tuesdays. We'll have that straightened out next week. Just for those who might want to watch. And as well, 502 Radio, Angel Radio. Shout out to y'all. We're going to keep bringing you the fire for the rest of the evening. All right, Playmaker? We said what we had to say about AEW and TNA.
And I'm supposed to don't talk about AEW like that, so you know that I had to get in on that one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are 1 week away from what took place up in Lincoln Financial Field in the great city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, like they always say, wrestling doesn't have an off season. So the feel good story must continue. The show must go on. So, Cody Rhodes and Rock had a awkward opening segment of Monday Night Raw. Marco was there live in person with Wise at Hefe.
Yes, sir. Let me go ahead and throw that comment up. A couple of things there. So these are all correct statements. So got to get to it. So he says, can't believe me and the homie at Cool McCain were chilling at Raw last week. Absolutely. And we had another homie with us. Good times had by all. And then he says, and we're going to go back through the comments here in a few minutes, which is very factual. We had great seats. If I'm ever going to an event with Wise all is responsible for the seats.
Now, shout out to Philly because I was wondering the whole time why when he was in the 76ers, but I forgot the name of the arena off the top of my head right now. It's Wells Fargo Center. Right, there we go. I was like, it looks different. And I know why. Because from Friday to Monday, they packed out that arena. So they had to switch it up. And which Triple H made a joke about it, which was funny. He was saying we had a bootleg the TV monitors.
He did. It was funny live. It was real funny live because you could see what they were doing. It was funny.
But first day on the job as WWE champion, awkward exchange with The Rock. Speak on it.
So what was so great about the whole thing, man, is you got a chance to like really see. So we're there, right? So, Cody comes out, everybody's doing this song. Excuse me. So then he's talking, Huz, Triple H, all that. He gets a little video that was sent to him.
And by the way, I'm going to say it again. WWE is great at doing goddamn video packages.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Before you came on the air, Triple H was talking about some of the people and how they help the product and everything. But so we got that. So then The Rock comes out. So The Rock tries to talk. Oh, we booed his ass. We booed that mother sucker. Ooh, we booed.
That was crazy because y'all actually cheered when the music hit.
We cheered his music and then we booed his ass when he tried to talk. Yes, we did.
And then y'all gave him the Dominic treatment. And I was like, these are actually booing around.
We gave him the Dominic treatment. And we was up there yelling boo from the beginning. And a whole lot of people was. And yeah, Wise is right. They didn't have a Jumbotron. So it gave it like a house show kind of feel. So it made the crowd feel more important if that's understandable. Like if you go to a house show, it's all about the crowd. Like you gotta think when you see it live, there's no commentary, right? There's no commentary. So we just seeing everything. We can't hear anything. We're just seeing everything unless they're talking like on the mic. But like commentary, stuff like that, we don't hear any of that. All we hear is intros and then like, of course, promo packages that they do. And then like if the wrestlers are talking, we don't hear anything else. So for
the first time ever, I heard that this is an awkward chant.
Yes. It was a lot of chants. We would like if you started to chant, everybody was going with you. Like we didn't care. We was just like, bet, let's do it. Which, as Wise can attest to, well, I'm glad that we didn't do a show last week because obviously I would have been able to be on the show. But on top of that, I'm glad we didn't try to do a show later in the week because I ain't had no voice for like 3 days. But it was fun. And when The Rock handed Cody something, a lot of speculation was what actually happened, which is it was the watch that he had that Cody had gifted a lot of people. The Rock gave him the watch back. That's what we ended up learning. But
Don't you ever break my heart again. Here's the interesting thing. I don't think a lot of people paid attention to. Because when they were changing, this is awkward because they switched titles.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are still trying to figure out why I'm sitting here, and you know how I am. Cool. You know how I like to pay attention to stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I looked, I'm like, is he speaking to the future right now? He coming for that title.
Well, he said, I mean, did you not hear what he said, sir? He said it.
No, what I'm saying is people weren't paying attention to that part. They was trying to figure out why did The Rock want to hold the title? I'm like, did you not see him holding that title? Did you not paint the picture in your head? Was it not clear as day?
Did you not hear him say whether you're the champion or not? When I get back, I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
What that means is that Cody is going to be the champion at least until The Rock gets back.
You don't know. But I'm just like, he's coming for that title. He wants to be the one that beat Cody for the title.
He wants to hold the title again, period. Because again, what did he say? I've never held that title.
And to be honest, that title did look good on him.
But by the time he gets back, it's probably not going to even be that title. Sorry, Rocky.
Probably not, but yeah. Yeah, it felt right on his shoulder too. I'm like, he want that title. Oh boy.
And I like the way Cody held his title. But he was like, I'm not putting this on my shoulder. I'm going to hold it.
No, I like what he said. He said, I'm the people's champion.
He did.
Like,
he said, and I'm your champion.
It's like, ooh, Cody bringing some heat.
So, character-wise, there is a extreme dislike between Cody Rhodes and The Rock. And you know why that is? Because The Rock pinned Cody Rhodes and beat his ass, bloodied him, and then beat him with belts leading up to WrestleMania. So there's a lot of dark intentions in Cody for The Rock. And when The Rock comes back, whether it's for the championship or not, we're going to see a little bit darker version of Cody. And I'm going to be there for it. But he's already using profanity.
But The Rock did say, you did it. You finished your story.
But now a new story begins. According to
a new story begins. But before we get to that, real quickly, Judgment Day has both world heavyweight titles. And speaking of world titles, there's a lot of reports going around that one of the world titles might be in trouble. Because one Liv Morgan. Now, I gotta say, Liv did throw that chair with some viciousness. I really think she wanted to get payback on Rhea Ripley so bad that it actually showed. Mr. Johnson, you know what other people are saying? Other people are saying an eye for an eye. Rhea took her out, now it was her turn to take Rhea out. Social media is a fun place at times to see how people think. So they calling it an eye for an eye. We don't know. We'll find out tonight in less than 30 minutes. But
storyline wise, they're gonna act like it's an eye for an eye. And I think we're a little premature on saying that Rhea's gonna have to give the title tonight. You gotta remember she just defended the title at WrestleMania. So if we're gonna go kayfabe, unless this is an injury that's going to keep her like where she can't literally show up at all, right? Because Seth Rollins had a championship for like 2 months, and this dude couldn't even wrestle. So if this is something that's not gonna keep her out longer than Seth Rollins was out, how would it be right to take the belt off of her?
Ashley Cole,
I think we'll be a little premature in that.
It was not a match when Rhea took her out.
All right, let's hop to the comments real quick. Let me get over here. So we'll go back and run through these real quick here. So Cole says, Cool is right. The way Joe is rolling makes it very hard to say the title needs to come off him. Cole also says that Diddy bar he dropped on Swerve, it was fire. But I didn't like him drop the Diddy bar. Like Diddy's, we should be touching Diddy right now. I'm just saying.
That's the point of doing it.
But I'm just saying, Cole says one of my OGs would say hit dogs holler, and that's what happened with Bruv. I don't quite agree with that, but hey, we all have the ability to feel the way we feel. I do agree with this comment here from Cole, who says, I'm proud of Triple H for making money moves by punishing Stephanie's juice box. Nothing wrong with making money moves, punishing juice boxes. There's never been anything wrong with that in my case. Says you could put Ospreay in the ring with air and put on a 5-star match. Exactly. Why says it's not always about the match. I agree with that. Damien says AEW and WWE real milking this war they're trying to make, which is really stupid because it will never be better than the WWE versus WCW war. I don't think it's a war, Damien. I just think one company, Triple H, just had something to say. And Will Ospreay is just one of those guys that's like, oh, you gonna say something about me, bro? I got something to say about you, bro. That's pretty much it. You probably won't hear anything else about it. Cole says Ospreay with Jimmy Uso in the ring. Cue Clay Davis. Cole also says snorting lines. We have a special surprise for the AEW audience, and we try to take care of our AEW audience, and then snorts again. It could be TK. It could definitely be TK. Damien says it was TK idea to release the tape. Young Bucks didn't want to do it, but still went with it. Of course, it's TK. They didn't have no nose powder, so they didn't think this was a good idea. Cole says, sad they tried to capitalize on someone else's name by putting forth this tape. And yes, Tony Khan needs to stop that blow because this was a move made by paranoia. Keep doing blow. What we say, Cole, you can't keep doing it and not get certain things happen. Why says, what is the point of 5-star matches if no audience to watch it? That's dirty. That's dirty.
I think Wise is on my side.
That's dirty. They do be having people watch, though. I'm telling you, like, they do be people watching. It's not a WWE level, but it's never going to be the WWE level because they don't have the.
We're not looking for them to be WWE. We're looking for them to do their thing. The problem is they too busy doing other stuff that don't make sense.
That's because Candyman. You know what I'm saying? The video gives, Damon says, it video gives all the right why Jack Perry should be fired. He started the altercation, not Punk. He shouldn't be fired. He should just, get suspended like he has been for Lord knows how long. Damon says, prayers to Rhea. Hope she gets back soon. Sus that she has to give the title tonight. That hasn't been confirmed. That's the story is going around. And I want to say when we start talking about trusting these stories that's going around, according to stories going around, Triple H has been fired 7 times in the past week, but he's still there. According to stories that's going around, Seth Rollins was going to turn on Cody Rhodes and cost him the championship. According to stories going around, The Rock was going to turn on Roman Reigns and cost him the championship. These things don't happen. You know why these things don't happen? It's because somebody decided to say this, and then a bunch of people said, yeah, that sounds good, and they went with it. Rhea is injured. She may miss some time. Depending on how much time she's got to miss, they may have to take the championship off her. But think about this. Do you want to take the championship off of Rhea freaking Ripley? The answer to that question is no. So if they take that belt off of her, that means she's in a bad enough situation where they got to say, yo, you got to give up the belt because you can't wrestle for months. Because Seth wasn't cleared until what? Like 3 weeks before WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. So he had the belt for a couple of months and he couldn't wrestle. They didn't take the belt off him. So I'm just saying it's got to be, for me, it's got to be worse than that for them to take the belt off Rhea. And it may be because they're not releasing the details, just saying that she's hurt, but it may be. Damien says WWE always has the best video packages and documentaries, even though they're sugarcoated sometimes. You got to, man. You got to make it PG. AP in the building. AP says, cool. They got ring lights on Amazon on sale. Play, I got 3 ring lights, so that's not an issue at all. I'm going for a different look, but I appreciate you. Cole says, This feels right. Rock on draping the WWE title over his shoulder. He did say this feels right. He did say that. Damien says, I wish WWE showed on TV the Uncle Howdy teaser that fans saw at the show.
Somebody posted it, and oh boy.
Yeah, that was wild.
Oh boy.
AP says, I believe that Roman comes back and helps Cody beat The Rock. We'll see. We'll stop right there. We got a couple more comments, but we'll stop right there. We'll get into a little bit more, and then we'll hop back over to check out what the fam got to say.
Speaking of Cody,
Mm-hmm.
just over SmackDown. Well, we ain't doing Raw to SmackDown. We just going through it. Cody,
We just doing what we want to do now.
Cody went over to SmackDown. First appearance, you know. They put together a match series where, come to find out, it'll be round 2 of the phenomenal AJ Styles versus the mega star himself and the winner at WrestleMania, Mr. L.A. Knight.
Yeah. Oh, did you want to do it?
Hey. We good.
That was a setup to do it. Okay.
We good.
My fault.
So we got round 2 of this one. If AJ Styles wins, that's 1-1, and AJ Styles gets a title shot. I don't believe that's the route they're gonna go. I don't believe they're gonna go the route with LA Knight. Do you see it the same way?
Yeah, because they're gonna feed AJ to Cody. Cody's not losing that belt. The first match after he gets it, he's not losing that belt. So they're gonna feed AJ Styles to Cody. Well, AJ Styles to Cody. Yeah.
So we got that. And Cody Rhodes did. So Cody Rhodes pulled a Stephanie McMahon on SmackDown. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, he took a line from his wife and used it on The Rock.
Yes, he definitely did.
Even though I believe Brandy did it better. If I'm being completely honest.
She did. Because she's less like we're still getting semi-politician Cody. We need wild Cody. You're the champ now. Like we need a little bit more champ.
Just saying. I'm just saying. Now let's make my partner here happy real quick. The new WWE Women's Champion Bayley
Cakes
made her appearance on SmackDown, and she tried to give out a title match, which was awkward, in my opinion. Shout out to Tiffany Stratton coming out there. It was like, you gonna do an open challenge? I'd be the first one to step in line, which I'm like, okay. I like where this is going. Trying to go out there, get your shot while you can, but she was talking about Naomi the whole time. Which lead to a match between Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. When Tiffany Stratton already had one up on her, now Naomi get it back. Is Naomi the correct person to be the first one to challenge Bayley?
So the answer to the question is yes. And there's 2 reasons why. Number 1, you need a credible opponent that Bayley can beat, and it doesn't hurt either person for Bayley to beat that person. Number 2, why was it that Bayley was able to get a one-on-one match on night 2 of WrestleMania and not get jumped 18 times before that match? Because Naomi came out to help, ended up getting the match, got Bianca out, and got Jade out. So, yeah, she does deserve the first shot. Because if it was not for her, just like Sami Zayn is giving Chadwick Von Gable a match, it's the same thing. You're the reason I have the championship. So, yeah, she does deserve it. In my opinion.
All right, let's have to figure that out there. Okay. So that takes care of the women's championship. We have Jey Uso going against Damien Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey is not winning that day.
Yeet.
It would be no yeet that day. I'm sorry.
Yeet.
This is gonna be no yeet.
It's gonna be some yeet, but it ain't gonna be no and new.
Yeah.
WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Now, what you got to understand is you're not going to have all these new champions crowned. They turn around and lose the next month. So anybody that's going up against them now, one of two things. You're either trying to build that person up, have them get the title match, and then lose but be really close, or you're just giving them some fodder to fight until you can get them into another story. Because you don't want to come off one storyline and drop right into another. Damien Priest been chasing this championship for about 10 months. I mean, it may not be actual 10 months, but a long time. Way over half a year. So now he's got it. So the first opponent is not going to beat him. But if you want to make it so people might think it'll happen, who do you get? Yeet. Anybody else on Raw that you get to fight Damien Priest, you know he's going to beat. But if you have him fight Yeet, there's a slight possibility that he might beat him. Because he almost beat Roman Reigns. So that's why you go Yeet, but he's not losing that though. Great opportunity for Jey Uso to be in the main event. Main event, Jey Uso in the main event. But he won't.
It's been a bad week for Miss Chelsea Green because she went into the storm not once but twice. And got jaded not once, but twice.
I want to thank Chelsea Green for bringing Thunder Cakes into my life twice this week. But yeah. And then you brought Bianca out too. So now you're going to have that tag team linking up, which someone said they should be a tag team. Not going to call them names. Someone said Jade needs to be the tag team right now. She's looser. Like if you've seen her, a couple of matches she's had, if you watched her in AEW, you see she's looser now. So she's kind of developing the WWE style a little bit, right? And she's loosening up. She's not as stiff. So you get in a tag team with somebody like Bianca, who you don't have much to do with right now.
This ain't a surprising announcement, but I would like to make a public service announcement.
Go ahead, sir.
Kabuki Warriors, count your days.
Oh, of course. It might be. It should be the next pay-per-view, but you know how they do with the tag team champions. It might be on SmackDown that week.
Count your days. Oh, yeah, they have made it clear. They coming for gold.
And there's only one set of tag team gold. And speaking of only one set of tag team gold, real quick, NXT, Ava Raine, I'm going to give her the credit because she's the storyline GM. They have decided to do a women's NXT Women's North American Championship. Very nice looking belt. I love the fact that they're recognizing we need something else for the ladies to do on the roster except fight for the NXT Championship. And I think another mid-card women's championship is the perfect move. Now, Hunter, Sean is doing it. Can we get just one for both shows? I'll even take one for both shows. Just give us something. Work with us.
He might, you don't know what he might be cooking up.
He might, but I'm just, hey, they might be watching. I'm just trying to make sure it get put out there. Feel me?
He might be cooking something up. So, yes, that was a big announcement. Stand and Deliver by Ava. And the crowd lost their mind.
As they should.
But the thing is, we still don't know who's going to be fighting for that title.
It's the fact that they have it. It'll take a champion or two for it to even out to be the right people. But it's just the fact that they're doing it.
So
for me,
that is going to be very, very interesting here. Woo! Now, before I get to the main part, we still got like 10 minutes left. Real quickly, here's my question to you, sir. Because we have an Intercontinental Championship match. My question to you, sir. Does the loser of the match turn heel?
Does the winner of the match turn heel? That's my question to you.
So me and my co-host is on the same thinking wave. Somebody's turning heel.
Somebody needs to turn heel.
Somebody's turning heel.
Do you end up cheating someone to turn heel? Because I guess my thought is losing and turning heel is like dumb. It's happened, and I'm not saying that you're not right. It's not the way they're gonna go. But in my mind, I'm thinking Chad Gable want to win this belt. He got to do something heelish to win this belt. Maybe Sami's so desperate to win to keep the belt, even though Chad's about to get him, and they pretty much even. He goes for something dastardly, like pulling the trunks or something like that, just to secure that win.
I just want to throw that out there real quickly because I don't know if people paying attention to that party. They probably just saying, okay, we got an Intercontinental Championship match between Sami and Chad Gable, and Chad helped him get it, so it's only right. Like you were saying about Naomi.
Yeah, it's only right.
It's only right. See, I know Lil didn't mind. Does the result of this match? Somebody's turning heel. I said so. The loser, you said the winner. So we both on the same way. Like somebody's turning heel, and it's in Montreal. And it's in Montreal, by the way. Sami has home field advantage.
No, it doesn't make sense for Sami to lose. So we could see a scenario where he wins and then Chad Gable jumps him from behind. But I think more reasonable, I should say, at least, is you do that in the match, and that's how you win. So, man, if I'm turning heel, I want to win. I don't want to be a heel with no belt. I don't want to be Shinsuke Nakamura. Let me at least get a belt out of this.
Now, for the rest of the time we got left, something that my partner has been yearning for quite a while. It happened. It happened in a disturbing way, but it happened. Paul Heyman comes out, does his normal, speaking for the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, who was not there, who put out a video saying, okay, I agreed of my loss. Now it's day one. Now we're getting back on it, right? Paul Heyman speaking. He was going real good. And Solo just looked at him, stepped to him, and it's like, that's not good. What's Solo got plan going on? And Solo speaks, and we know we really don't hear Solo speak. And he spoke a lot of words. And he wanted accountability. When he said accountability, first people thought it was Roman Reigns, who's not there at the moment. But he wasn't the only one that lost at WrestleMania. Big brother Jimmy Uso also took it. We could pretty much say Jimmy took 2 L's at WrestleMania.
You could go 3 if you wanted to.
Because the fact that you got spared off the stage by your brother, by baby brother. So that's another L for you.
And also, I just count the way you look trying to wrestle as a singles wrestler as an L for you as well. So,
and then he looked at Jimmy. Jimmy looked at him, was like, "Oh, so you challenging big, bro? You challenging big, bro? This is what we doing, and I'm gonna let you take it from there because this is what you've been waiting on."
So I want to go back to one quick part before we get there. When they came out, whose music did they come out to? They came out to Solo's music. So, also go back a few months. Roman Reigns took one of his extended breaks, and he said, I want to announce the heir apparent to the Bloodline. And Jimmy was jumping around like, like somebody gonna get a worse wrestler in the Bloodline, the ability to be the next tribal chief. He named Solo Sikoa. So now let's fast forward. Solo wants his accountability. He goes over to his brother. He hugs his brother, tells him, "I love you, brother." And then out of nowhere, the Bullet Club OG, Tama Tonga, explodes into Jimmy, and they beat the wheels off Jimmy. They stumped a mud hole in Jimmy. They walked it dry. They beat his ass, and then they walked another mud hole in it, stumped another mud hole in it, and walked it dry. So Jimmy got dealt with.
Viciously.
viciously, thrown out of the ring, right?
He wasn't even thrown out the ring. He was laid. He was laid in the ring.
And then Solo kicks the phone out of Heyman's hand and smashes it, signifying he ain't my tribal chief no more. Then the ones go up from Solo and Tama Tonga. And then let's not forget, Jimmy got the chair put on his head and squashed in the corner, everything. Like, Jimmy got the kind of beat down he deserves. And I'm saying that from a point of character-wise. Jimmy as a person, cool, probably. I don't know the dude person, but I'm saying the character deserves this. You need to write him off and bring him back some months down the line. We don't need to see nothing for Jimmy for about 3 months. Let him go and take a break. Naomi can get hurt in this match, and then they can go and have him a little boo time together, whatever. They can both be off. So we have a new tribal chief. People can argue who they believe the tribal chief is. I know everybody's like, oh, Rock's going to be the new tribal chief, and he's going to call things from behind the scenes like Roman Reigns did. So you mean to tell me instead of having a wrestler that's there every week, a guy that can perform, interfere in matches, beat people up, show how he's developed and how cunning he's got under the tutelage of Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, instead of him being the leader, he's got to be answering to somebody else. And why did people come up with this theory? Because later on SmackDown, Tama Tonga came out of nowhere when Paul Heyman had went to check on Jimmy.
He was being interviewed by Kayla. And
you know what I'm
saying? Kayla asked Paul what was going on with the Bloodline. And Paul Heyman was about to say that this did not come from Roman Reigns. That's what really did it.
And then Thomas said from the tribal chief. Him and Solo walked up, right? So people say, "Oh, it's not Solo. It's gonna be The Rock." Why does it need to be The Rock? Why do we need another guy that's part-time, bringing it via satellite, bringing it via phone, bringing it via text message, pager, email, fax? Why can't we have someone that's there every week be in charge now? We do. His name is Sokoa. He was sit by the elders.
What if Solo is in charge? Appointed by The Rock.
It could be. But The Rock doesn't have to be involved. That's the point. Everybody wants to tie it to The Rock. The Rock has already specified what he's doing when he returns. He's going after Cody. That's his focus when he come back. He told you Monday night, I'm leaving. When I come back, I'm coming for you. The Bloodline has so much else they can be doing than going back after Cody Rhodes. So you can split them up. It's okay, people. You can split The Rock and the rest of the Bloodline up. It's okay. We are about to get my boy, Jacob Fatu. And we might get Zilla Fatu too.
By the way, Jacob did from listening to Booker T's podcast, he officially signed with WWE.
He did. Zilla and Lance Anoa'i supposedly have signed as well for multiple reports. So there's more members of this family that are signing. We don't have to have The Rock in charge. We don't have to have Roman Reigns come back. We don't have to have Jimmy there. It's okay. We have a connection to that group in Solo, the new head of the table.
So what is being pictured by the social media world is, while The Rock and Roman are all doing whatever they got to go take care of, right? Well, Rock Hollywood, we know that. Roman, most likely health issues, making sure the cancer is still where it need to be at for right now. Jimmy, they pretty much ruled Jimmy. They beat the brakes off Jimmy, so Jimmy is wearing off. Thing is, have Solo, have maybe Jacob joining, and the Bloodline 2.0 continues, and they build this momentalist train that is like can't be stopped. To about around SummerSlam, Roman is back. The Usos are back together. Because, by the way, this y'all don't know, literally in like a week from now, on Friday, a week from Friday, it's the WWE draft. It's the WWE draft. So in 2 weeks, when we come on here, there'll be the second part of the WWE draft. So it's going to be some changes going on for Raw and SmackDown. So what people still got the dream match. Rock, Roman Reigns, head of the table. Could be only one head of the table. So they still hopping on that. The reason why, maybe, I mean, if you really think about it, The Rock is kind of in charge. He is the final boss, by the way. So, but maybe this is the route they're going, and they're using Solo as the quote unquote head of the table for right now. And then when The Rock comes back, the real laid out plan comes to fruition. That's all.
This is the same social media. Rock is going to turn on Roman. Roman's going to turn on The Rock. Seth's going to turn on Cody. All this. This is the same people that are now saying this. And guess what? Yeah. You all, 90% of you have a track record of consistently being incorrect. But you keep coming up with theories. They're not what's really happening. But you know what? That's okay. You can have your incorrect theories. Just understand. Cool McCain told you. It doesn't have to be anybody else behind it. It doesn't have to be. They got a story built in for The Rock against Roman already. The bloodline isn't what it used to be because you lost. I won the match and put you in the right position, and you still lost. We didn't have our match at WrestleMania last year, but we're going to have our match at WrestleMania 41 in either Minneapolis, Minnesota, Las Vegas, Nevada, if all the stories are to be believed.
So with that being said, I think we can call it a show because Monday Night Raw is on.
Monday Night Raw is just now coming on. We got some comments here. Appreciate all the comments. Didn't get a chance to go through everything, but hey, didn't get all the commercials this week. We're gonna get back to them next week. We had a lot to talk about. 2 weeks. We went on last week. A lot happened. We had to dig into it. But good people, tell 2 of your friends and 4 of your enemies to come check us out. It's because they don't like you does not mean they won't like us. And as always, it's never where you start. It's always where you finish. Hey, by the way, shout out to the WNBA draft because it's going on right now too. There's a lot of good programming on TV. Make sure you check it out. Holla at your boys, and we out.
Tony Khan, you better do right this weekend.
Nose candy.